Alright guys, welcome back. Last survival kit from Temu went pretty well, so I went and got another one. This is the $17 Temu survival kit. This one's pretty different. This one comes in like a nylon, kind of like a hard shell case. It's a lot thicker. Got a medical symbol on the front, which me personally I don't like. It's a survival kit, not a first aid kit. I don't want to get it mixed up. Really slick design, doesn't feel bad, so maybe this one will perform just like the last one. But let's take a look inside. Okay, looks like we have a lot more stuff. There's pretty sure it's over between 50 and 100 pieces. But some of those pieces may be like the band-aids and stuff. So let's check this all out. We got a tourniquet, definitely an off-brand one. I do not highly recommend the off-brand ones. A lot of people won't, especially military, first responders won't, because they can easily break. They're good for training, but oh, gives you a good guide. Pretty cool. I will say this, just like I say in the last video, having this is better than having nothing. So let's take a look. Get your time, so you can write down your time. This is a good way to load your tourniquets. Right here, so you're not on the way in that spindle, and you can just wrap it around and then take this off and cross it. It's the Velcro is pretty dang good, even on this and the actual tourniquet. So that's not, definitely wouldn't use it for every day, but it's not bad. Tip for tourniquets: if you're going to use it for yourself or others and you get a actual name brand one, don't mess with the spindle and turn it and train with it. Get one of these and train with it, because you don't want anything to wear out. You want everything to be as tight as you can be. You can tuck it in right here on either side. So it's a pretty cool addition, better than having nothing for sure. All right, got a, oh yeah, it's a survival kit, so you already know we got to have the survival bracelet. Yeah, pretty much every survival kit will come with these. You got something to paracord or cordage. Got another compass. This one actually seems to kind of be on point from the last one. Got some flint and steel. Oh, maybe they had to test it before it left the factory. I don't know, but there's a size comparison. Probably fit around most people's wrists. Let's see if this works. Well, that doesn't seem to be working, so you know, may not be good. Let's see what we got here. There you go. We got some povidone iodine prep pads, some alcohol pads for cleaning your wound before you bandage it, so that's very good. And then we have a bunch of band-aids that look to all be the same size. Well, this one's different than this one right here, but that's all right. Yep, very useful to have. Let's see what we got right here. Yeah, a tactical pen, another essential in the survival kits. I use a Atomic Bear one in my personal life and for work. just because it's my life on the line and I want a good quality thing. These are normally not high quality. They'll break pretty easily. Looks like we got an ink pen cartridge that's made like metal, which is pretty interesting. But we'll leave that out for now instead of finding it. So we got another O-ring. So it looks like it's waterproof and it'll protect it. So we'll test that out. Not sure if it's steel or aluminum. But steel barrel pens are the best, especially when you're going to break something or defend yourself. Got a glass breaker right there, strap to put it on something. So you could take this off, maybe put something down there. Doubt it. If anything, it'd be just a tiny bit of kindling to get a fire going. And then I guess if your ink runs out, you can with the O-ring you can put some stuff in there. For the time being, we're just going to treat it as the pen itself. Yeah, and we'll test that out too. But cool pen just to have. Looks cool. But we'll see if it does well. Oh no, hold on. The spring fell out. It's not good. Not sure if that's a me thing or the pen thing, but shouldn't imagine it should fall out like that. Alright, now we got a utensil. This is also a common one in many survival kits. Got like a fork, sport kind of deal. It's like some can openers, and it looks like these holes here you can wrap some paracord around so you have more of a grip on it, and then some little hex wrenches. Does feel like you can kind of poke something, but I feel like this would get in the way. Got like a little knife to, you know, cut in some food that you kill and catch out there in the wild. So pretty cool. Seems decent quality. Not upset about this one. Emergency blanket. I thought it was a mask at first. These are very useful to have for shelter, warmth, signaling, all sorts of things. These are cheap and really easy to use and have just to throw somewhere. And it's very large. So I want to open it up here. We'll do that during our test. But we'll set this aside. Oh, there it goes. Already put away. Let's just put this on in here. Get this closed up. And on to next. Some, feels like shoelace. That doesn't look high quality. I don't know. I'm not really liking it. It feels like a shoelace when I think they're trying to get like the paracord kind of deal, especially in the green. Like, oh, this is 550 paracord. Plenty of it. Definitely use it for stuff, but I'm not sure if I'd even hang a hammock with it. It's pretty, I'd say it's almost worse than a shoelace, but we'll see about it. And we got some more stuff. Yep. Gotta have a survival knife. Feels very cheap. Oh man. Already flimsy, brand new. So you can clip it onto something, like your belt or a backpack. Got a clip on. Got your release right here. Oh, it's oiled up a little bit. No flip. You just gotta manually open it. Yeah, it feels like a very cheaply made knife and it doesn't feel sharp. Looks like the blade actually has some chips to it. What the heck? All right, we'll definitely see how this goes, but it's very cheaply made. Like, everything's flimsy on it. I don't have high hopes for that, but we'll see. So we got some fishing lures and some line, little bobbers or lures. I'd have to look into that. Some fishing line, some hooks, a little grub style, little shrimp. So it's like you got some freshwater and saltwater options. We'll test that out. Got some gauze for some bleeding. Very useful to have. Can't really go wrong with these. Some are probably better than others. We'll test that out. Little water bottle holder. This comes with a bunch of kits. Put the neck of your water bottle through here and it just dangles off your belt. I like how there's Velcro and the little button. If you don't want to fight it, just take that out, I guess. But yeah, pretty simple to use and useful to have. Lots of people just carry these around just to have them. Dang, all sorts of stuff in here. Thought it was a challenge coin at first. Got me a little happy. I can get it out. Got another compass with some very cheaply made cord. Cool little compass, cool to have. Seems to be true. But we'll test it out further. Got another little survival whistle. This one, unlike the previous one, doesn't have a little, storage for kindling, but little whistle. So we got a headband or a headlamp. Right here. Useful to have. To tinker with that a little bit, but feed this through and then I don't think it came with batteries. Downside, no batteries. Let's say they take 3 AAAs, which I have. We'll test that out, but see how bright it is. We'll do that at night too. Do another brightness test. But it'd be pretty useful to have. So we'll test it out. Feels like a kid's toy. Oh, looks like we have another fire starter. Fire starter right here. Dang, this one's like bulky. Dang, I'm not sure what that's for, but this thing is freaking bulky for no reason. I gotta loosen it up. Whoa, works pretty good. Also looks like we have some type of millimeter measurement thing here, which is pretty cool. With a can opener and like a wrench kind of deal. This thing is just beefy and hefty. Golly. Got the infamous wire saw. Every survival kit has one of these pretty much. This one feels a lot better than, a lot heftier than the tin one that I did on my previous video, which I will link in the description. It feels a whole lot better. 2 carabiners, both with locking. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, you gotta kind of mess with it, but it doesn't have a stop to it. I guess you want to tinker with it, play around with it, you can. But yeah, we'll clip some stuff on. I wouldn't hang anything with it, and with a bunch of body weight, definitely not for climbing. But they're useful to have. Throw them on your backpack and carry a water bottle or whatever you want with them. You feel cheap. And then last but certainly not least, we got our survival multi-tool, just like the previous one. So all sorts of different things on here, very useful. Toss that back in here. Yeah. Looks like the machines forgot to cut that off. But there's that. And then you're left with the case. You can, if the case is empty, toss whatever you want here. We'll probably keep some food and your cell phone. This could probably fit a big iPhone or whatever phone you got. Pretty light. But other than that, we'll get on with the test and see how everything does. Hopefully this one doesn't disappoint just like the last one, but there are a few questionable items. But we shall see, and we'll head to that now. We'll start testing out all of our stuff that we got in here. This is our off-brand tourniquet, and we're gonna load it up. Showed, and then red goes towards your heart. So say I have a big boo-boo, a big cut right here, we're gonna pull it, make sure it's snug. We'll wrap it around till it gets about right there. I'm gonna go fully down, but wrap it there, put it across. It's pretty tight. You wanna zoom in. It's pretty tight. You see veins are feeling more pumped, so it's working. It's better than having nothing, but I definitely get an on-brand one instead of $5 tourniquet. This is great for training though, so if you want to practice with that, that's what I would really use it as. This is our little cheap knife. It's slightly oiled up. I don't think it's all that great, but I just want to try whittling. It's actually very sharp than what I thought. It's still flimsy though, but you can tighten it down with a star wrench. It's doing what it should, but I don't think it would hold up for a while. I wouldn't even carry it as an everyday knife or anything, but definitely cuts. Maybe not that way, but if you're just whittling something, it wouldn't be bad. Test it on the corner of our rope. It's actually pretty sharp, but you got your little belt loop, so you can put it on that way. What do you want to do with it? But it feels very cheap, and I really like it. Our compass, and right now I know what direction is which, but we will see. You can adjust it. It's on a pretty level surface right now. Let's see here. So this is west over here, so this compass actually isn't too bad. Which isn't bad. You also have some measurements in millimeters and inches. I haven't seen that on a compass like this before. And then it comes with a bunch of string. So all in all, I think this one's one of the better items that came with it. we got our little multi-survival tool, just like last video. All we're going to really test is the saw blade. This is a really dry, dead piece of palm tree, and it's working, but you just got to do like this over and over, just back and forth. But it's not all that great. And then our knife blade. I don't know, this one's probably worse than the last one. Better than having nothing, but you still have all your little sundials and wrenches. But you can get these really cheap anyway, so great gifts, but I don't think they really work all that well. It's just definitely a last resort tool. Alright, so this is our hefty fire starter, and I figured out that these are like finger grips, but got a piece of paper towel. We're just gonna try to light this on fire. Alright, and after a bunch of attempts, we have fire. So it works pretty well. With a lot of more stuff, it'll probably do better. But it's got a fire made with this. So this is our survival bracelet. Check out the compass. And that's pretty correct too. So not too disappointed with it. Let's try the whistle. It works. Got the fire starter, but it's the most important part. We're gonna see if it even fits. It does. Look at that. I'm so cool. It's not uncomfortable, but I'd hate to wear it for a while. Let's try the fire starter. It's at a very awkward angle. Alright, I'm sure you can get a fire going with it, but it's going to take a while. And this right here is, you can hear it's flimsy. And then the cordage here, it's alright. It doesn't feel like 550 paracord. It stretches like that too, so it's an alright item. Definitely better than having nothing, but it has its ups and downs. But other than that, it's cool to have, I guess, but not really efficient and starting to fire. All right, and then this is the water bottle holder. I've only had about one of these, and I was younger, I didn't know how to use it, so I got frustrated and threw it away. But just a regular sized water bottle. So you just unclip it, separate that Velcro, put in your belt loop or your short loop, whatever you got. Velcro will secure it, and then you just press down on the little lock right there. Pop this off, it loosens this tab up. Flip it around and you lock it on, and it sits there. I mean, it's staying on there pretty well, so can't imagine it would be doing too much. And then once you want it, you just unclip it and take it off. Pretty useful, and I'd say this is one of the better items that we've had so far. All right, this is simple, just a little piece of metal with a plastic tube or plastic piece and a ring for a whistle. And it works, it's a whistle. Here's our injury packs. A little for the first aid kit that we got with it. I mean, I'm glad I'm not in a bad situation right now because these are pretty hard to open. You may be wondering why it's yellow and it's getting everywhere. These packets, like it shows, is providine iodine, and this just helps clean the wound further. So we'll pick a previous scab that I've had. Say I have a cut or something. There we go. It's going to burn a little. Then we'll take these band-aids, and that will help keep your wound clean and let it start healing. So I actually really like those packs. And these are just breaking off like it's nothing. So don't get these wet. So we're gonna try to get our band-aid out of here. Just rip it off, slap it on, and then there ain't much to it. I mean, it's not really sticking well, but I do have a bunch of hair on my arm, so. But overall, it keeps it pretty held down, and they kind of come up easy, but if you just press it on and keep it on, it'll probably stay on. But well, I guess it works, and it's just some band-aids and a wipe. This is our wire saw. This one feels way better than the last one we used. Basically, it's just a saw that you can use. It's just made out of wire, like multiple strands of wire. And you just wrap it around the tree. And you go back and forth. I'm gonna try it right here. They like to get stuck. It's normally one direction they always get stuck on. We'll start fresh right here. Go fast. Yep, and it got caught. I'll try that again. If we do this right here, it's looking a whole lot better. These things are also notorious for people, for snapping on people. Kind of pulling back towards me while doing this, but it's really awkward. It's getting caught right there too. Keeps getting caught. But if it's something dead, it'll probably do good. Doing live, it does good too. But as you can see, you could easily snap it, but it won't be clean. But we'll try. Still getting caught, but you can most definitely get a clean cut if you put the time and effort into it, but it works pretty well. So as I was doing the wire saw, got a small little scrape, just a little bit of bleeding. So we're going to test these out once again. This was unintentional, by the way. But here we go. I was making contact with the tree and maybe some germs and bugs and stuff. So we're going to rub that really well. Wipe all the blood. I'm pretty sure this stuff right here, the iodine solution, to help stop the bleeding. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert with it. Now we're just going to take one of these different band-aids, just random one that I grabbed. Just going to peel it back. And it's right there. Stick it on. And, well, these don't really like to stick well, but hey, it works. And my boo-boo is now better. And there you go. So this is our emergency blanket. It's a 130 by 210 centimeters. I'll put in how many inches that is. But These are good for shelter, reflection. It's really bright out, and you could probably see all sorts of reflection off of it. You can use it as obviously a blanket, shelter. You can catch water with it. These things are just great to have, and there's absolutely no going wrong with having these. You can use it as a heat reflector if you got a fire going, as an inliner for your shelter, like some insulation. So, open it up. And it's about the size of a small throw blanket, but you can see how it's reflecting. It's very thin, so it'll break easily. But I mean, if there's a plane flying over, it'd probably, reflect and show them. And I'm in Florida right now, so I'm not really getting any use out of it. But I mean, you can. You can definitely use it as a blanket. I mean, I feel very toasty, not only because it's 90 degrees in Florida right now, but I mean, I could probably just, I'm really tired right now, I can just take a nap. And hopefully somebody spots me. You should zoom in on my face. Yeah, see how warm I am? It's great. Really toasty. I feel like I'm being cooked. All right, so this is our cord. We have about 10 feet of it. Feels like shoelace, but this cord is not too much for me to show. Be useful to as like a trot line if you catch some fish, you need to put them together, or you need to put your shelter up. Like I said, I wouldn't use it to, put up a canopy, not a canopy, whatever it is that you hang out of, a hammock. It just doesn't feel like it would hold you. I wouldn't climb with it either, but it's this is always useful in survival situations, and I mean, this is one of the things that you need, and this is what you got. The OD green cord. Alright guys, now we're going to be trying out the fishing lures. We're going to be trying out the shrimp. And then I figure out these are weight stops. So let's get these out and see how it does. Alright guys, I figured out that I can't rig any of these because none of the eyes are cut out. So let me maybe find a hook and see if I can find something to rig it. But that's pretty disappointing. Alright guys, so after looking through some of my truck and everything else and double checking these hooks, I don't have any. So if you're in a survival situation or you just want to use this, I mean, you could maybe try to punch a hole through where the eye is supposed to already be cut out and try that, but you can't just use it out of the box. And if you tie it around the base right there where the eye is, I don't think you would be able to unless you wrap it around. Even then, I think it'd still slip up or cut your line. So this was trash. I couldn't even test it out. Here's your gauze. So if you have like a bunch of bleeding, this is great stuff as it absorbs all of it. So let's just say I have a really old scab right there, but let's just say I have a big cut or I'm bleeding a whole bunch. I'll just wrap it around here. And well, we gotta make sure it's tight, but I'm kind of doing it by myself. So likes to stick together, but that's all right. We're covering most of the cut anyway. You don't have to use all of it. Doing a kind of a poor job right now, but the wind's kind of bad and whatever. But you have a whole lot of this right here. And what I don't like that the survival kit didn't include is pins, so you can pin it together, or some type of overlaying wrap so it'll stay wrapped. so it's not all exposed, so it doesn't get any moisture from anything, like if water and wood, so your wound doesn't get more infected. But it's better than nothing, and sounded pretty good. This is a great inclusion. I just would wish they added another roll and some pins and something to wrap it up with, but it's pretty good stuff. All right, now we're gonna test out the carabiners, and we're just gonna attach it onto here. This one, these things are kind of hard to push open. Not going anywhere, but if you push too hard, I think they would definitely break. Let's see if we can hold the backpack up with them. Yeah, what about that one? Yeah, they work. I probably only, carry lighter items on it, but hey, you just saw that. This backpack probably weighs 10 pounds or so. The locking system works decently. These just don't stay tight. But, well, they're all right. All right, guys, now we're going to be testing the tactical pen. Can't really test the glass breaker. Don't really have anything around to do that, but with how sharp it is, I would safely say it'll probably break a window or two, or a couple. Let's see how this pen does. There we go, it's right. It has some good weight because the paper isn't flying anywhere. So, it's a bonus. Pretty good. And I'd say it's a good thing. It actually doesn't feel bad quality either. Alright guys, now we're going to be trying out the survival multi-tool. Let's just use this. Pretty sturdy. And then there you go. I'm not eating this straight up. We'll cook it for dinner, but one of our meals we're making. But seems to work pretty good. And stabbing things. There you go. Cool tool. Well, that works. And I do have one more durability test for this entire kit. Is we're going to run it over and see how it does. I don't have high expectations for it, but who knows what happens if you just drop it and then it gets run over. It absolutely flattened the kit. It's a little dirty now, obviously, and you actually see the tire tracks on it, or the tread. Everything mainly got flattened, but doesn't look like anything broke. Yeah, everything seems to be intact. That's actually really impressive for it, but it's pretty cheap. I would get a higher quality one. So, all right guys, it's raining, it's nighttime, and we'll try out the headlamp now. It's pretty cold out, so I'm gonna make this one quick, but I'll see why it won't work. So I'm not gonna be wearing a hat for it, because let's just say you're not wearing a hat, something happened to it, and you need to put on the headlamp just straight on your head. Alright guys, got the headlamp on. It's pretty secure, and this feels cheap, but the band also does, but it feels like pretty secure. There's no lining to keep it attached, so let's turn it on and see how it does. Whoa. So you got bright, low, SOS or strobe, and then off. So I'm gonna point in the woods over here, and then we're gonna see how it does. Alright guys, here we go. Mode 1. Pretty bright. I can see into the woods back there, and it's illuminating everything pretty good. We got low. You can kind of see in the woods over there. And then we have strobe or SOS. And then off. Yeah, it worked pretty dang good. So I would say that this is a pretty good product in the $20 Temu profit kit.